Tell me a funny joke.
Sure, here's a classic one for you. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Tell me a poetry.
In the silent night, a flower bloomed, its petals unfurling, casting a sweet perfume.
So, what is the music Justin Bieber had made in last 10 years?
Justin Bieber has released several albums and singles in the last 10 years. Here is a summary of his discography from 2011 to 2021. 1.
Hey guys, hopefully you're doing well. Harry here, and today we're gonna talk about OpenAI API, right? So basically, we're gonna connect to OpenAI API, and we're gonna use the prompt, right, to generate some output, right, to do some research. Well, if you haven't heard about OpenAI, it is a startup about basically about the bot, right? A bot which can take text as an input and generate various data in the form of output. We can say it can generate image from prompt. It can generate it can generate code, right? It can generate something essay for you, even the email, basically a prompt to basically text, right guys? There's a lot of incredible research is going on basically on OpenAI. Let's say ChatGPT is one of them, right? So ChatGPT is a large language model which use a technique like natural language processing, right? Guys must be familiar about NLP. Well, these are the neural nets. It's a deep learning model which takes billions of data. So last research it was saying like they took like a 300 billions of text, and it cost them nearly around like 48 to 50 billion roughly on this startup. Well, if you guys know about the Y coordination, so Y coordination is the one who basically supporting them during the funding round on the seed funding, series funding. So guys, let me log in, right? So let me log in, and this is our data science startup, right? So there's a ChatGPT and the API. So you guys know how to use ChatGPT, but this video is focusing on making API. So I'm gonna just press into API. Now you can see the documentation over here. You can play the video. That's the SAM over there, right? So I'm gonna go to API key over here, right? I'm gonna create new API key. Let's say December, right? Create a secret key, and I'm just gonna copy this, right? So guys, let's move on to our Jupyter notebook. Right guys, so now we are in our Jupyter notebook. So I have already installed and imported OpenAI Python packages, right? And I will gonna provide all those basically link in this video, right? So all those link will be in the descriptions below the video, and I will also provide the GitHub link about the OpenAI, right? So I'm just gonna create a variable, let's say API key, right? I'm just gonna run this. Now you can see like API key, let's say API key, right? Now you can see that's our API key, right? So you have to create your own API key, and well, let's move on with the functions. Let's say function chat GPT, right? So let's say prompt as our input parameter, right? And after that we're gonna basically what we're gonna do is like we're just gonna cut this API key. I'm just gonna declare inside our functions. It's gonna make a local variable over here, and let's say client. That's a new variable, client, and OpenAI, yep. And it's gonna be your API key. And after API key, what you can do basically is like chat completions. So we're gonna define a data structure over here. Completions, chat completion equal to client. So client dot chat. So let's say chat dot completion dot create, right? So don't forget the s on the completions, right? So create, right? So over here, then we have to use a messages, sorry. So that's gonna be in our list. Inside the list we have to describe a dictionary, right? On a dictionary we'll have only two type of data. That will be role in a form of string, right? So we have to define the key, and the value will be user, right? So it will be a comma over here. So if you remember about dictionary data types, this is a dictionary. So content, right? So it's exactly need to match on the server, right? So that will be prompt, right? So prompt is our input, right? So my spelling for the prompt is wrong over here. So PROMPT, right? Prompt, right? So then I'm gonna define the model over here outside our dictionary inside the list. So well, sorry, not here, right? So basically outside our list. So let me organize this first, right? Let's look fine now. So the model will be sorry, model will be our chat GPT. So let's say GPT 3.5 turbo, right? And we're gonna close this. Sorry, it's already been closed over here, isn't it? Over here. So let's say message, that's gonna be a role user, content will be prompt, and well, prompt here, that's look fine. And after that we need to have this as a model, and okay, so the model is fine. Yeah, let's try to run this. Okay, so running fine, right? So let's say text to speech, right? So that's gonna be our chat completion, right? That's gonna be uh, choices, right? So I'm gonna index this to 0, so which will only give me the important necessary messages. That's gonna be content, uh, right? I'm gonna be close. I'm gonna print text speech. Okay, so let's give it a try. Hopefully it's work. So let's say Newton first law. Okay, something is wrong over here. So take one argument but two were given, right? So we only have to use a one argument, but it is saying like there's only two, so there's two argument is given. So let's say client API key, right? Oh sorry, API key equal to API key, right? Crates, yeah, still wrong. Completion object has attributes crate, yeah, that's the one, crate, not crates, right? Okay, so what's wrong over here? Choice object has no attribute messages. So messages look like I have made a mistake over here again. That's need to be message. Yeah, there we go. Newton's first law, also known as the law of inertia, right? So next building block will be we need to integrate this with our all the program we have created on our previous block, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna say like def, that's gonna be our final project, right? So def speech, right? Let's say text. Okay, so gonna copy rate, right? Volume, oops sorry, oh god, come on, volume, yeah, that's the text, and engine say text, that's gonna be over here, and save file, and of course play. So that's gonna be play our audio, and that's gonna stop, right? So what I'm gonna do next is just copy over here. So let me check again, rate and volume, right? And that's look fine. Okay, that's look fine, right? So let's give it a try. Let's use a speech. speech, let's say hello.
Hello.
Okay, that's working though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put another block. So that's gonna be our another block. So we don't need a function for this one, right? So I'm gonna just make this normal without the function, right? And I'm gonna use a ChatGPT as a my prompt, and I have to return one more thing, right? After printing, I have to return those audio. Let's say the audio will be returned by the speech text, right? So gonna be speech and gonna be text to speech, right? Let's run this and give a try. Tell me about the Newton first law of motion and also drive me an equation. Hopefully it worked, finger crossed. Well, it didn't work. Look like we need to optimize the code. Something is wrong, right? So tell me about Newton first law of motion and also drive me an equations. Okay, so must be something wrong with the threading. So we have to know like where is going input, where is coming output, right? So let's figure out, right? Okay, let's start from here, right? So first thing, there's speech. So this is working properly as far as I remember. See, this is also working properly, the mic, right? We can see over here the subtitle over here, but the problem is like see this text need to be fed inside our ChatGPT prompt, right? So here I will put a text, right? Let's give it a try. Please tell me the about Newton first law. I should have asked for a joke. No, still not working, right? So something is wrong with the output now. So we need to figure out what's wrong with the output. So let's give it a try. Well, see this one, right? So if I put a return function over here, let's say please tell me about Newton first law of motion. Okay, so still something is wrong. It's gonna print the text to speech. So we are taking text over here. So the text, oops, sorry, that's the mistake again. I have to. Please tell me about Newton first law of motion. So I have to fix the parameters. So the parameter need to be matched with the prompt. Okay, so let's double check the block, right? So the first block looked fine because the first block was working, right? So the second block also looked fine because it's taking our voice as an input. Let's say text. Yeah, I just change this, right? Let's say text recognized. Text recognized, right? If I can copy this text recognize over here. Okay, so text recognize gonna be as my input and this gonna be my prompt, right? So the result will be text to speech, and basically this will return the print of text to speech and the return speech function, which gonna take this text as a speech as an input and gonna result as output in a form of audio, right? So now what I'm gonna do is like chat chat GPT, right? Please tell me about the Newton first law of motion. Okay, so I need to give an argument over here. Let's put something like text. Please tell me about the Newton first law of motion. Okay, the program is still running, so it's look fine. I'm gonna zoom this out.
Newton's first law of motion, often referred to as the law of inertia, states that an object at rest will remain at rest and an object in motion will continue moving at a constant velocity unless acted upon by an external force. In simpler terms, this law indicates that objects tend to resist changes in their motion. The parameters associated with Newton's first law of motion are as follows.
Right guys, so I have stopped this, right? That's really working now. So I'm just gonna make this into a single block, so I don't have to run all the code again, and so we can put our prompt over here, right? So let's try now. Okay, so best of luck for us, right? And finger crossed, let's do it. Please tell me about the distance from Earth to Sun, and also give me some couple of dad joke. Okay, so that's the thing, right? So we made some mistake over here. So text recognizer gonna be a text recognizer over here, right? So tell me about Newton's first law of motions. I'm just gonna do that again just to check.
Newton's first law of motion, also known as the law of inertia, states that an object at rest will stay at rest,
so guys,
and an object in motion will...
We have basically cracked this this algorithm, right? So we have used the multiple libraries to build this algorithm. So it's actually working. It took a lot of time, and we really enjoyed the journey, right? It was really easy, to be honest, but not that much easy, but like just to know how to build the architecture, right? So let's try again, like let's do that prompt again, right? Okay, so what should I ask for? Let's ask for some joke. Give me some dad joke.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it.
Okay, that's funny enough. Okay, so right, oh god, wait, hold on. So write me a block of code where you can explain me for loop in Python programming as well as in JavaScript. The code should be same, and the code should be like the list from 1 to 100. Actually, I asked for the for loop, right? So let's just give me for loop or not, right? So that's gonna be interesting. What kind of code?
Certainly. Here's an example of a for loop in Python and JavaScript that iterates over a list from 1 to 100. Python. For I in range, 1, 100, and 1.
Well,
I plus plus,
basically
after each iteration.
clear this out. So that
Inside
is
the loop,
disadvantage of
console.log,
Jupyter Notebook.
I is
Right.
used.
So well, I'm gonna run this and let's see how it's work. Oh, it's working. You can see it's iterating till 100, 1 to 100. So I'm like sprinting my list, right? So there we go. Same with the JavaScript, right? That's really cool. Okay guys, so I'm gonna open my speaker, right? Okay, can you can you tell me the difference between homoskedasticity and heteroskedasticity in statistics? Okay,
In statistics, both homoskedasticity and heteroskedasticity refer to the assumption about the variability or dispersion of errors, or residuals, in a statistical model. The main difference between the two is, one
well guys,
homoskedasticity is the
that's really smart, right? So now the craziest thing, right? The most craziest thing, I'm gonna use this code, right, to build a new code, right? And it's gonna be crazy, right? It's gonna give me some example, right? Write me a code using linear regression model and random module, right? So the number between 1 to 100,000 random numbers, right, x and y axis, and do the correlation analysis, and also plot graph and also do r square. Check, please. So guys, basically I didn't put a very professional in prompting, right? So but I tried my best, right? And I'm trying to use my all machine learning knowledge just to put a prompt over there, and I can just generate those correlation graph over here.
Sure. Below is a Python code that uses the linear regression model and random numbers between 1 to 100, 0, 0. It performs correlation analysis.
Right, guys, so I have copied that code, right? So I'm not gonna let this bot to read everything, right? So I'm just gonna print this, and let's see, does it work or not? And it's gonna be, oh, there we go, see, there we go. That's basically ridiculous, to be honest, right? You can see over there, there's no correlations, right? Just like zero correlations, especially random correlations, sorry. Yeah, so now you can see over here the r square value, right? So it does look like a residual analysis, right? But it's actually a correlation analysis, and it's using linear regression model, exactly use the exact library, right? And it's used the random to create basically random to create those variables for x and y axis, right? And you can see over here, and that's look really cool, guys. It's a fit, it's a train the model, right? So that's really good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will provide all this code into GitHub. You can go to GitHub and like you can check everything. I'm like all the documentations on this code, right? And you can build your own bot. Well guys, I will see you next time on another video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe my channel, and let's do a last joke. Give me some riddle, a funny riddle.
Sure. Here's a riddle for you. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?
Whoa, that is quite impressive, man. I don't know what's that, man. Can you solve me a riddle? I speak without a mouth and read without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?
The answer to the riddle is an echo.
Oh, okay, that's cool, right? Right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time, right? Cheers.